Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to unravel a story that's literally woven into our everyday lives. We're talking about the journey of yarn. The actual thread that makes up all our clothes. And we're going to figure out what it really means for that yarn to be sustainable. So, I want you to think for a second about your favorite piece of clothing. Maybe it's that super comfortable kurta or that t-shirt you always reach for. We fall in love with the finished garment, right? But its real story, the one that truly matters, starts way, way earlier with a single thread. And believe me, that one thread has a massive story to tell.
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start with the big picture, the story hiding in your wardrobe. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty, the real cost of a single thread. After that, we'll look at the solutions, from choosing better fibers to smarter ways of spinning. And, really importantly, we'll talk about the people involved, before we look ahead to the future we all get to wear. Ready? Let's dive in.
Okay, first things first. We have to understand that making yarn isn't just some small, random step. It is one of the most critical, most resource-intensive stages in the whole life of our clothes. What happens here? Well, it changes everything down the line.
So when we throw around this term sustainable yarn, what are we actually talking about? Well, think of it like a three-legged stool. It has to be kind to the environment, it has to be smart with our planet's resources, and it absolutely has to be fair to the people making it all happen. If one leg is missing, the whole thing falls over.
Now for the tough part. Let's talk about the problem. The conventional way yarn has been made for a long, long time, it comes with a pretty steep hidden price tag, a cost to our planet that you will never, ever see on the label of your clothes.
And here they are, those hidden costs. We're talking about an absolutely insane amount of energy needed to run those spinning machines, often 24/7. When it comes to synthetics, like polyester, that means we're relying directly on fossil fuels. Then there's the huge amount of water used in processing, the mountains of fiber that just becomes waste, and of course that sneaky problem of microplastics, tiny plastic bits shedding from our clothes and ending up in our oceans.
This really lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? It's like two different paths. On one side, you've got the old way, just consuming tons of energy and water, relying on chemicals, and creating a lot of pollution. And on the other side, the goals of sustainability, saving resources, using cleaner methods, and slashing waste. The choice seems pretty obvious when you see it like this.
So how do we actually get on that better path? Well, it all starts at the very beginning, with the most basic question. What is this yarn even made of? The choice of fiber is absolutely fundamental. And the good news is, we have some fantastic options. You've got your natural fibers, like organic cotton that's grown without all the nasty pesticides. Then there are regenerated fibers, things like viscose and modal, which come from natural sources like wood pulp, but are created with some seriously smart tech. And my favorite, recycled fibers, which are basically the heroes of a circular economy, giving old materials a whole new chance at life.
Okay, this is one of the coolest ideas in the whole process, this concept of a closed-loop system. Just imagine a factory where pretty much nothing is wasted. The chemicals and solvents they use to turn something like wood into a soft fabric, instead of being dumped, they're captured and used over and over and over again. It is a total game changer for the industry.
Right, so we've picked a good fiber. Now we have to actually spin it into yarn. And as you're about to see, technology has given us much smarter and cleaner ways to do this too.
Yeah, just look at this table. The traditional way of spinning, it's slow, and it is a notorious energy hog. But these modern methods, like rotor and air-jet spinning, are a massive leap forward. Not only are they way faster, they use a whole lot less energy to get the job done. That means a smaller carbon footprint for the factory. It's a classic win-win for both business and the planet.
But hang on, being truly sustainable isn't just about measuring energy or water. The picture is so much bigger than that. We have to talk about the people,
the human side of this whole story.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? You could have the greenest, most eco-friendly factory in the world, but if the people who work there are not being treated well or paid fairly, then it's not sustainable. It's just not. It has to be about all three. And that means paying fair wages. It means making sure working conditions are safe for everyone involved. But it also means things like supporting local farmers who grow the fibers and celebrating and preserving the incredible traditional skills, so many of which we have right here in India, that have been passed down for generations. So after all that, where are we headed? Well, it all points toward a future where our clothes don't just look good, but they actually do good.
And you know what the most powerful force for this change is? It's you. It's all of us. The more we ask questions, where did this come from? Who made it? The more the entire industry is forced to listen and to change. Our choices, our curiosity, that is what's building a better future.
So, the next time you're out shopping or even just picking out what to wear for the day, maybe just take an extra second. Think about that hidden story woven into the threads. Because every single choice we make is a vote for the kind of future we want. The future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we create, and it's something we wear. What will you choose?